Hello and welcome. My name is Lisa Richard, owner of Loving Energy Recharge, and this is the full moon lunar eclipse reading in the sign of Taurus. The full moon is coming up here for us on November the 8th, which is a very powerful number in numerology. We have the 11th month, we have the 8th day. That 8 can literally be seen as that infinity sign. Here's your opportunity to take some lower vibrating energies, to rise them up to your higher state of consciousness and let them be transformed for you. So welcome to this reading. This is a reading through the chakra system. I have a beautiful tapestry behind me to kind of help us walk through the journey. And I've been asked to try something a little bit new today. So excuse me if I feel and sound a little bit nervous. I am human. I am growing along with the rest of you. And this is an opportunity for all of us to embrace our imperfections while also holding the space and knowing that we're all meant to rise. We're all meant to try our best and to trust. So when we're asked to do something and we know it comes from that place of divine guidance, our job is to honor it. It's not to be perfect. It is the willingness to try and to trust in oneself. So welcome to this space. I hope you have taken the time to bring in a journal. I really encourage you to notice as we go through the 7 chakras, what is coming up for you in the message. Now, there's something new that we are trying today is I am going to use the beautiful sacred geometry activation cards and not reading through the guidebook, but channeling through whatever messages are coming that they wish to share with all of us in this group reading. Now, these here are by Lon, L-O-N at the bottom there, for anybody that wants to take a look at those ones. They're absolutely beautiful. They're coming into the blue. That is all about that communication center, the higher vibrations. What is happening right now within the planets is we have our sun in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign. We then have this beautiful full moon lunar eclipse that is in the sign of Taurus, an earth sign. When you take those elements together, you have water, you have earth, you have the opportunity to make mud, which means a lot of us are feeling like we are stuck in the mud, unable to go forward, feeling really stubborn, not wanting to budge. And that can be a mindset, a behavior, a pattern that you're knowing within yourself. On the flip side of that, you can be the creator of something beautiful. You can take that earth and that water and you can shape it into clay. You can be the sculpture. You can create something that is so beautiful, so empowering, something that is going to help you to move forward for your highest good, for the highest good of humanity. So that is where we want to focus our attention. We want to focus on the opportunities to use the gateway number, the 11, and the 8, that opportunity to transform for a lower vibrating energy up into the higher realms so that we can support one another in calling in more light, calling in more love, and stepping forward into a higher state of being for all of us. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle through these cards, and we're going to start right down the bottom in our root center. That is the one there behind me in the red. And use this as an opportunity to allow yourself to ground. The earth center is all about our feeling of safety, security, our connection down to the earth, and an opportunity for us to look at, our relationship to material things, to the human species in general. How do we show up in the world, and what is it that we need to know that is sometimes a barrier in our own journeys, preventing us from rising up? In other words, what gets us stuck in that mud down at that root level? So we have 2 cards that came for us down in that root center, and I'm kind of chuckling because it's really dark in my office today. We have a storm that's coming through on Vancouver Island where I live, and no matter how many lights I have on down here, there's this dark cloud coming through. So it feels sometimes, that we always have things that are in the shadow in the background of us. We're being asked to step forward into the light. So just like that lunar eclipse, here's that opportunity now to bring up those things that sometimes we don't really want to take a look at. We like to hide them under the rug, so to speak, but you're also at this point if you're watching this recording, that you're done with that. You may be curious, you may be frustrated, you might just be sensing that, you know what, it's time to move forward. It's time to move forward from where I have been and to go somewhere that is in more harmony with my soul, with my vibration, with who I know I have the potential to become. So our card in that, our first one is change. How beautiful is that? And, you know, for those of you that are really into that sacred geometry or music, sound, vibration, you know, just take a moment to see, you know, what do I feel? What do I sense when I look at this and I think of the word change? And for myself, you know, it's this really pulsing energy, this magnetic energy, and it's coming right from that yellow. That yellow is our willpower. But this is a divine willpower, because outside of that, you also have the purple of the third eye chakra, the higher wisdom. It is this pulsing from inside, and you might just be experiencing that within yourself, just feeling like, you know, there's got to be more. There's got to be more to what I'm doing, more to bring in some joy and some happiness. So in our root center, I also teach in human design that also carries the energy of stress. Now, stress is a motivating energy that inspires you to change. So if you're feeling a lot of stress in your life, here's the opportunity to ask yourself, what is bringing in that stress? What am you going to do about managing that stress? And how can I use it for my greatest good in the harmony of my own vibration, my own body? Because each and every one of us are responsible for our own harmony, what we are pulsing out into the universe. Now it says for us at the bottom, the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality. This is practical advice. You are a great problem solver. This is logical action steps, mindfulness, discernment, getting real about, you know, what is causing me this stress? Where do I need to change? Where do I need to focus my attention? What am I needing for myself? Forever changing nature of reality, both inwards and outwards, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. When you release something that is no longer serving your highest good, up comes that newness. So our other card within that root center is miracle. It's not waiting for something to happen out there, something to come in and save you. You know, the job is just not going to appear in front of you. You have to go actively looking for the job. The phone is not just going to ring and someone is going to invite you to go out and do something fantastic if you're bored. You have to be the one to take the initiative to create your own happiness, your own experiences. So you are the miracle. You have been gifted this precious life. The question at the root of us from Mother Earth itself is asking, what are you going to do with the precious life? How are you treating yourself at the core of you? And you know what, I'm feeling that really, really strong. It's coming in to suppress some energies, and very likely something that I need to look at as well. But for all of us, in that root of you, are you treating yourself like the miracle you are? Do you treat your human as sacred? What are you feeding yourself? What is the thoughts that you're placing in your head that is in now your body? How are you treating yourself in terms of nutrition, exercise, healthy relationships, healthy boundaries? Are you protecting the essence of who you are? Do you see yourself as sacred? So they're feeding a lot of energy into that, and I feel a whole lot of compassion radiating out. That is that willpower again, pulsing into that, knowing that you are meant to be here. You are designed to do the best that you can in rising up your own human, not to compare yourself to anybody else. We all have one thumbprint. It's all unique. It doesn't make any one person any more special than anyone else. It means that you're designed to be authentically you. So don't give your power away to another. Don't compare yourself to another. Don't feel like you have to become something for everyone else. What do you want? What do you need? Now, at the bottom of that, it says the frequency of miracle supports our belief in ourselves as a part of source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. When you consider yourself in contents of a tree puts their roots so deep into the ground in order to get the energy and the support from Mother Earth. It also knows that underneath the ground, all the root systems from all the other trees and the plants are together in that network. It is not alone. It is being supported and is supporting others. We're asked to do the same as humans. But how many of us have really shallow roots because we're just waiting? We're waiting for the rug to be pulled out from underneath our feet. We're afraid to make a commitment. They're saying, go deeper. Go deeper in, because when you learn how to trust yourself, then you will learn how to trust others. So don't break those promises that you've made to you. Don't put yourself at the end of that to-do list. You are sacred. You are a miracle. That change starts by treating yourself as that precious, strong inner tree that you are, in order to support all those other ones that are watching. They're watching by example. So if we want to teach our children how to exist in this world that is constantly in change, that means showing them how to dig healthy roots and how to know for themselves the correct choices for them. So let us all lead by example and really power up in that root center as we are facing this beautiful full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. Let us get out of the mud, out of the mindset, out of the emotions, and start sculpting. Start creating something now of beauty, of hope, of benefit to self, to others, to the human race in general, to the highest good of humanity. Let us bring it up there. So we're shuffling now through to the sacral center. That is the one there in the orange, right below the belly button. This is our umbilical cord connection. It is our center of creativity. It's our center of emotions. This is also where we keep all the ancestral stories. So what are we holding on to? That is a story that has been long gone, that needs to be seen for what it is, and needs us to start sculpting it into something that is for this time, this day and age, that benefits who you are. You are your own story. Okay, we got number 31, magic. Magic. And I just feel this sense of a softness coming over me. This opportunity to really transform, those old stories that we carry, the old energies. How many times have you thought about something that happened in the past, or somebody says to you, you haven't changed? Really? I'm pretty sure that you have changed. And not only have you changed, I'm pretty sure that they've changed as well. So when we bring in the miracle, we see that everything has an opportunity to start fresh. Everything can be purified. The wounds can heal, love can grow. There's always hope that can be brought forward. It doesn't have to be the suffering story, the doom and gloom story, the corruption story. You don't have to play those games anymore. You can create a vibration that is helpful, that feeds you. We want to feed that energy up. We want to take the change and the miracle from the roots of us, and we want to feed it up now, knowing that you are magical. You have the ability to do that. Nobody else can do that for you. You have to do that. You have to take responsibility for owning your emotions, feeling your emotions, noticing your mind talk, treating your body as sacred, making sure that you are taking full ownership and responsibility to fill up your cup. You can't give from an empty well. So taking the time to nourish the mind, the body, the spirit connection of you, the sacredness of you. So let us be the magical transformers of ourselves. Let us do what needs to be done so that we can grow in that. We can sculpt in that. We can let more beauty out into the world by connecting with your gut instinct. Your sacred yeses, your sacred no, the way the body talks to you, not the way the mind wants you to believe. This is an inner feeling that we have, a calling from inside. That is the magic that says, pay attention. Pay attention to your vibrational frequency. Pay attention to your true harmony. And pay attention to when your body, your gut instinct is saying, you're out of alignment. And then take that deep breath and pull yourself back in. That's the magic of the transformation. That is the ease of stop, pause, reflect, and then choose. Choose for yourself. Choose for the highest good. So it says for us at the bottom, the frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, and to move forward possibilities and expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. All that is required is our belief in their manifestation. Our belief. The law of attraction. It's not just visualizing what you want to have. It is knowing in your heart and feeling in your energy that if you've asked the universe and if it is in alignment with your highest good, it's going to come. So that means stop thinking about it. Stop asking about it. Don't try to determine how, when, and why it's going to show up for you. Don't give up on the hope of that. Trust. Trust in the magic of the creation. Trust it and hold that. Keep it in your faith. Keep it in your vibrational energy. We are powerful, powerful creators. And I hope you're able to visualize yourself literally at that pottery wheel. You are holding the clay that is yourself. And your hands are on that clay. And you are the one that is holding it and loving it and sculpting it and growing it. It is a very gentle, delicate, mindful process. And yes, sometimes things collapse down. Sometimes you need more substance. You grab something in to support you. But you are the alchemist. You are the one that knows the ingredients needed and necessary for your creation. And it's not ingredients that somebody else has that you have to wait for them to give you. All the ingredients are from the higher realms. You have to call it in. You have to ask for that support. You have to be willing to be taught. You have to be willing to clear your mind, to let go of previous stories, mindsets, beliefs, start fresh. What if everything that I ever thought to be true is a lie? Start from there. Not from a place of hurt, but from a place of brand new creation. I'm going to wipe the slate clean and I'm going to try again by getting to know who I am. And then learning to build and to shape that according to my inner values, my true identity, taking off those masks, coming from that place of sacredness, not forcing myself to grow beyond my capabilities right now, but honoring the process, knowing it is a sacred, beautiful journey. We're going to shuffle now and go up to the solar plex, the one in yellow. That is the one right above the belly button. Oh, this is your willpower. This is that strength that comes from within that just goes, yes, Yes, I am committed to that. I am pushing through that. I am not compromising with that. That is that inner fire. That is your passion. We want to strengthen that passion within you so that you can trust in your own ability to use discernment, to know what is true and what is not true, and to know for yourself the right decisions and the right action to take. And you're the only one that can know for yourself. So let's breathe into that. There's a lot of energy coming through, a lot of fight, a lot of power, a lot of champions that are rising up for all of us. So what do we need to know in that sacral center? What is for the highest good of all humanity? Strength of willpower together. Perception. Perception. I'm going to give everybody a moment just to take a really good look at this card to see what you sense, what you feel. This feels very worldly to me. This feels like a deep connection to the earth itself, to many cultures, many religions, many belief systems, many different types of humanity, but yet all woven together into one. We all have our own perspective. We all have our own story, our own interpretation of something. And that's the beauty of humanity. You know, think of Earth as Google. There's so many opinions and information and different sources in Google, in that World Wide Web, in that collective consciousness. Without the flavor of the diversity and a difference of opinions and a difference of perspective, we wouldn't have such a rich world that offers so many opportunities to learn, to grow, but most importantly, to think and experience life for oneself. So when we learn to change our perspective from being so stubborn, so stuck in the mud that this is it, this is fact. Well, fact literally means that you know the answer to something. When you know the answer to something, you have closed the door to your mind, because that's it. That's my answer. That's everything. I'm closing the door. But to consider, what if I'm wrong? What if I don't have all the information? What if there's another side to this story? Well, now you've opened up your perception. Now you're open to the change that's coming up from that root center. Now you're believing into that miracle of, wow, I never saw that before. That's new information. Well, that sparks a whole nother opportunity to explore. Not to get mad because somebody lied to you. Think of this as a chance for you to now take a brand new direction, a new direction into yourself, to determine for you, what is my perspective? Never mind the right side and the left side. What's the perspective from the middle? What's the perspective from the middle ground where I don't have to choose to pick a side? I can choose to follow my inner knowing, to discover what is right for me. I can weigh the so-called facts, I can weigh the so-called opinions, but yet I can trust at the end of the day that everything is intertwined. Everything serves a purpose, everything matters, everything is in this creation because we are meant to always be challenged in our beliefs and in our opinions and in our growth. You're meant to be challenged so that you can feel within yourself, no, that's not how I feel. Not to waver and change your mind because that's what somebody else is doing. So that willpower comes in and you're going to feel that literally in the stomach of you. You're going to feel that in your core when you're making a decision that is out of alignment. Or you have a mindset that is just so ferociously blocking you in a fear story. But yet you know, I really want to get on the other side of that. I really want to do this. Oh, but what will they think? What will they think? We're all so busy worrying about ourselves. We're not thinking about anybody else. Change the perspective. What if I did it? What if I was successful? What if it didn't matter to me what anybody else thought and I just allowed myself permission to try? What if I allowed myself to make a mistake? What if I allowed myself to get messy? What if I allowed myself to have some fun? It's all about perspective. Choose what is right for you. It says for us at the bottom, the frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So let us be curious. Let us examine our own fear stories. Let us examine those things that are not resonating with us. Let us dare to say, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm willing to go within myself to find and ask the questions and to see what resonates with my inner truth. That is curiosity. That is power. Your power. So let us travel now up to the heart center, the one in green. We bring things up into the heart to heal it, to learn how to open up our own heart so that we can become that blooming flower. You can lean into the beauty of life. You can have those healthy relationships. You can allow yourself to be vulnerable. You can allow yourself to feel safe, to trust, to have compassion, to have empathy. So that heart is a powerful place of healing. Oh, and we just got 4 cards that came out for our heart center. Now for myself, the number 4 is always support. The number of the angels, we have one in the background there. You know, it is the foundation of who we are. Literally at the heart of us. Holding the 4 corners. This could be the 4 elements. The building blocks of creation, earth, air, fire, water. You know, you're the alchemist of that. You get to create. We have our 4 seasons. We have the 4 parts of the medicine wheel. We have the 4 directions. You know, everything is literally in the crossroads. So when you put yourself in the cross, when you have your alignment from the root down into the earth, up into the higher realm, and then you have the horizontal line that comes across you, across your heart. Our job is to be in the middle of all of that. That middle place, right in the center of it all. The center of compassion, the center of grace, the center of unconditional love. Now, we don't know what that is as humans because we've all been hurt and shattered and have experienced things that have blocked our capacity to love and to trust. So we're asked to come into the core of your heart. Let yourself start feeling that compassion for you, honoring your emotions, honoring your experiences, noticing the journey of the past, not dwelling on the past, but using that past as a reflection of how far you've come, how much you have grown, things that you've endured that you didn't think were possible, but yet here you are. Here you are. Now start leaning into the energy that you really want to feel. Start empowering yourself through that change to imagine the life that really resonates with your own heart. Put that energy in front of you. Let yourself walk into that new energy. Not taking the past with you. It's done. Send it love. Send it compassion. Thank it for everything that is done to bring you to this place, this moment. And now go forward from there. Lean into your truth. Lean into the possibilities. Lean into your heart-centered empowerment. Ask to be shown what the true meaning of unconditional love is. Unconditional forgiveness. So in our power of 4, we have the solar plex chakra. Look at that power. Look at that light that is illuminating us, that is fighting for us, that is saying, come into alignment to my will. Come into the higher will, the divine will, God, source, the creator, whatever that energy is for you. Call it in. Anchor yourself so deeply into the heart of the universe and let the light guide your way. It says for us, the frequency of the solar plex chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. Your job is to be the best version of you. Leave everybody else alone. Let them walk their own sacred path without judgment, without criticism. Grow your seed, grow your heart. We also have in that allowance, allowing things to happen. We're not here to control the circumstances. We're not God, we're not source, we're not the creator. We can't argue with the universe to get it our way. We're not the only person on the planet. It's not happening to us. The guy didn't cut you off in traffic because he was out to get you. You were part of a circumstance. You were part of an experience. So allow yourself to breathe into life, to know that you are a part of life. You're a part of the seasons of change. You're a part of the moon cycles. You are a part of humanity. If something doesn't resonate with you, allow your frequency, your harmony to get into a vibration that supports and allows you to be who you are. That's an inner journey. It says at the bottom for us, the frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. The rose knows when to bloom all by itself. So too do you. Allow your life to unfold as it's meant to unfold. Stop trying so hard to become. Let it be natural. We also have coherence. It says for us at the bottom, the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind. Relaxing your mind, fight it back with the love. Let it come into unity for optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. So when you get those fear stories, those doubts, those suppressions that sneak up, your self-sabotage moments, fight back with the heart. That is my old story. I used to do that. Put it in the past. Don't let it become the new version of you. Change your frequency, change your mindset. Instead of, I'm always afraid, I used to be afraid. Now I'm willing to take a look at that fear and stand it in my light, because I know I can walk through and arrive on the other side. And I see myself on that other side, and I see myself successful. I see myself learning. I see myself growing. I see myself free. Free of that suppression, free of that mindset. You're creating a new program, a new dialogue in your relationship to yourself. Let yourself go. Let yourself go to your own vibration. Our last one in that is consciousness. There's a lot here going on in our heart. The heart is so important. This is the turning point. Do you keep rising up into the higher state of your being, rising up and out of the emotions, or do you get stuck there in an old pain story, an old fear story, and sink back down to the mud? Let yourself expand into a higher state of possibilities, potentials. What if I was successful? What if I had a beautiful life? What if I was thriving? What if I am joyful? What does that look like? What if I let this pain go? What if I allowed myself to forgive? What if I let go of trying to please everybody else and I started to do what resonates with my heart? What if? Get curious. What if? It says at the bottom, the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. Don't miss those signs and those synchronicities in the way that the universe is trying to communicate with you. You might be noticing things in songs, in numbers, in feelings. Notice, pay attention. It's talking to you all the time. Become curious, become more aware. Don't get so stuck in this mind with the chatter and the worries that you're not feeling and breathing and asking the guides, the universe to come in. Ask them to come in. Open my eyes, open my heart. Give me signs, give me messages. And then be still enough and quiet enough and relaxed enough to receive it, to grow your conscious awareness. We're going to move now up into the throat center in blue, your communication, your vibration. This is the ability to listen beyond somebody else's emotions, to listen beyond words. We give words meaning, we give words energy. Listening to the higher wisdom, the higher guidance, asking, what is this teaching me? Not why is this happening to me? What is this teaching me? For my highest good, what can I do to help myself become stronger in trusting myself, of coming up with my own solutions, of knowing that the right resources, the right people, the right circumstances are all coming through. And my body is going to guide me. My inner knowing is going to guide me. I'm not going to be a slave to somebody else's opinion, somebody else deciding for me. I'm not going to give my power away. I'm going to hear what resonates. I'm going to let go of what doesn't. I'm going to turn off the news if that is causing me to be in despair. I can trust that what I need to know is going to find a way to me. I don't have to tune in to all the chatter and all the noise. I can be peaceful. I can be relaxed. I can be in harmony with the world, the natural world, the birds, Mother Earth, water, wind. Tune into the real sounds. Let go of all the chatter. Becoming silent is a beautiful way to raise your vibration, to grow yourself and to trust in you. So let us see what we have for us in that beautiful throat center. I just felt a big shift in the energy, like literally a slow down. A big breath. We're rising up. For those of you that are still in this reading, we're rising up. You are getting there. Hold in. We got authority. Authority. If you would have given up, if you would have stopped, you would have fallen back down, and the authority, your power would have been given to just being at that ground floor level, stuck in the mud, Everything's happening to you. Others are out to get you. You're never going to get anywhere, but that's not you. If you're still here, if you're still listening, you're tapping into a higher authority, a higher wisdom, a higher vibration, a knowing there's always a way. There's always more. There's so much than just humans. We literally live in the earth the size of a marble in this vast universe. Vast universe. There is so much more than just us as human thinking that we're superior. So much more to rely on and to guide us, that there's so much of a deeper authority. There's laws of the universe. Who are we to question the laws of the universe? Who are we to control a circumstance and say, you know, I hear you, I hear the message, but let me determine when it's convenient for me to do that? No. If you want to build the trust in yourself and the trust with your guidance team, when you get your message, you respond. The more you do that, the more you build the trust and relationship. Now it's up to each and every one of us to determine what is the difference. What's the difference between the ego, your mind, and that higher guidance? You're the only one that can figure that out. And it starts by really examining your mind, really examining those stories. A higher guidance is quiet. It's gentle. It's subtle, because you have to become in harmony with yourself. You have to purposely slow down your nervous system, slow down your breathing, relax your body. You have to be receptive. You have to tune into your natural environment. You have to invite your guides, your team to come in to raise up your vibration. That is where you get that guidance. That's where you connect to that authority. So the more you take the time to practice mindfulness, everything you say is energy. That can be the energy of grace. It could be the energy of love, the energy of compassion. It could be a weapon to hurt, to belittle, to disempower. Now, even if your mouth is silent and you are thinking it, your thoughts are energy. You're not fooling anybody by putting on the face, but thinking all these thoughts in here. So it's a beautiful opportunity in this energy, in this beautiful full moon, lunar eclipse in Taurus, to really use that opportunity to logically witness yourself and your thoughts. Who's governing you? What is that mind chatter? What is that impression coming from? Where's that judgment coming from? And if you're judging another, it's a reflection back that you're also judging you. So where in you are you afraid to be on the other side of that judgment? Do you have an opinion that, successful people, well, they lose all their friends? Is that a story? Is that a fear? Are you afraid to be alone? Are you afraid to change? So now you're sabotaging yourself from being successful. Do you have an opinion that those people with money are corrupt, evil? If that's a thought, if that's a judgment, are you preventing yourself from getting the abundance you need to pay your bills, to make good choices? We all have judgments. We all have stories. It's time to claim back your power. It's time to align your authority. It's time to witness and use those judgments, those criticism, those thoughts, those projections of energy, and start to transform it in the higher vibration. Start to question why. Why do I think that way? Why am I speaking that way? How can I use this to empower myself and to empower another? How can I use this to feed the energy and feed the vibration of love and light, and to offer the world more grace. Don't be afraid to stand in your light. Don't be afraid to power up your light and offer somebody else power. Power up their light. Disperse that energy. Don't be afraid that someone is going to take away from you and your capacity to give. It does not work that way. The higher authority, love, light is in abundance. There's more than enough for anybody. So be selfish in it. Be selfish in what you're taking in, and dare to offer great love out into the world. Be that person. Dare to compliment, dare to have an open mindset, dare to sit, dare to hold space, dare to listen without a desire to control and fix and save, but just to be there. Just to say, I hear you. Thank you for expressing yourself. Thank you. Dare to be that person. We're moving up now to the third eye. This is our intuition. That came out pretty darn fast. Oh, we have the divine feminine. The beautiful divine feminine. And whether you are masculine or feminine listening to this, we are aspects of both. We're not here as a feminine, as a woman, to start bashing men. That's not what being a feminist is about. The divine feminine is the left side of your body. It is the yin energy. The right side of your body is the yang energy, the masculine, the fire. We are both. That chakra system of you, that backbone, it intertwines both of them. You need both of them to be in harmony and relationship with each other in order to truly rise up. Some people call that Kundalini awakening. You're connecting deeply into the earth. It's coming up, shooting out of the crown. You're in full harmony. You accept that at times you got to call in the masculine energy. You need that fire. You need that passion. You need to take action. And other times you need the feminine. You need grace. You need love. You need gentleness. You need nurturing. Well, the world needs a lot of nurturing right now. It needs a lot of compassion right now. It needs a lot of understanding of how to feel your emotions and to take responsibility for your emotions and to be mindful of your voice and your words and your thoughts and your judgments. It needs community. It is the coming together to raise the children, the men, the daughters, the sisters, the brothers. That is the creative energy to feed the generations that are coming and the generations that are here now. So when we embrace our divine feminine, we start to really care for self. You start to be very compassionate with you. You start to honor that inner child inside that is screaming for attention, is screaming to be heard. And the you of today, the wise one, the one in charge, the one that is still here listening, you're ready to sit with that inner child of you and say, I hear you. I see you. Tell me all. Tell me all. There's no judgment here. Tell me all. And you let that inner child express what it needs to express. And when it's done, it's not looking for your opinion. It just wants to be heard. So when it's done, you say, thank you. Thank you. And then let it be free. Let it be free to go and play. Don't keep that child running the show. Don't let it keep making the decisions for you and you're now an adult. Don't let it creep up in that bad behavior, that lashing out to others when you're hurt It's time to stop that. It's time to heal. Heal that divine feminine. Heal the nurturer. Heal the wise woman. Let her stand up. So it says at the bottom for us, the frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. Sacred geometry. You are one star. You are one seed. You are one human. Your job is to be the best you that you can be, not to fix or save anybody else. But when you learn the voice of compassion and you choose the intuitive knowing and you stand in your power of love and light and grace and you ask the higher guidance, what is this teaching me? What does this situation need? Rise me up. Let me see it through your eyes, your perspective. Putting aside your own ego. This is tapping in. This is channeling. This is surrendering over to a higher power, to a higher authority. This is the new way. This is the lights that you are seeing rising up in this world right now. Let it come in. Let it guide you. Take the time to care and to nurture and to love yourself. Get to know yourself so deeply. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. Get to know that person. Heal that person. Do the work that it takes to be the best version of you. To cut the cords. To stop the patterns. Dare to be that chain breaker. Dare to love ferociously. Dare to be that one that says, no more, no more, not for me. We have one more. We're moving up to the crown center. We've gotten to the top. This is our connection, opening up to allow in more love, more light, more divine grace. Connection to God, source, the creator, whatever that energy is for you. It's your honoring and trusting that there's more than just this physical body. There's so much more. You get to decide for you what that is, what resonates. Nobody else gets to tell you your truth. This is your knowing. So let us look and see, what do we have for us? The crown. I tried to put it back in. It was not going. This is allowance. We had this one show up for us earlier in the chakra system. I can't remember which one. It's already done. It's already felt. It's already been graced in there. The ego is out of the way. That is allowing. When you allow yourself to be a vessel of love and light, when you allow yourself to just show up, you don't have to prepare. You don't have to rehearse. You don't have to think about what am I going to say. You just show up. At the very start of this video, I said, I'm trying something new today, and I might be a little bit nervous. And the something new was to grab this deck of oracle cards, a deck that I had never grabbed before. And my first thought was, I don't know how to read those. I wasn't asked to read those. I was asked to show up. And I share that with you because you're also asked to show up. There's times where you send something and you say something and you're meant to be that person. Then the mind creeps in and says, ooh, what if I hurt them? What if I did something wrong? What if I made them feel upset? That's not your responsibility. When you are coming from a place of trusting in your guidance, you're coming from a place of love, you're working to the best of your ability to be the best version of you, then you are taking full ownership that you're responsible for your actions. What you say, what you think, what you do. Think of that as a pebble dropped into water. That's your action, and then it sends out a ripple. Other people get your ripple. Now, when they receive that ripple, they're responsible for their reaction to it. You are not. Now, at the same time, and we're tying this back into sacred geometry, somebody else is dropping a stone. And someone else's stone is creating a ripple that's coming into you. Now, when it hits you, you are responsible for your reaction to that. So you're responsible for your action, your point of dropping something, and you're responsible for your reaction, your point of receiving something. That's it. Everybody else has the free will choice to choose their own actions and their own reactions. That is where we have to stop the worrying and the fussing about, what is someone else going to say? What if they judge me? What if I hurt their feelings? Well, if you do, that's on them. They have to work through their own pain of that, their own mindset of that, their own story of that. They have to get out of the mud of that. It's not up to us to decide who comes out of the mud and when they come out of the mud and if they come out of the mud. That's not your concern. You're here to allow yourself to grow and to grow in your own time and in your own way. And you're here to allow others the same compassion and respect to have their own journey. That's it. And I hope you can feel the lightness in your shoulders as you take that breath and you let go of the way of the world. Because as humans, we tend to carry on the responsibility for carrying others on our back. Not your job. Yes, some of you may have children, but you're not responsible for how they turn out. You're responsible for doing your best as a parent that you know how to do for what your reactions are and what your actions are. That's it. Every child needs to learn, needs to grow, needs to make mistakes. You cannot prevent life from happening. Keeping a child too safe prevents them from knowing that they can be successful and they can manage and they can problem solve and they can thrive in this world. Trying to protect them from this world creates a false sense of reality. Giving in to every little demand is a false sense of expectation. Our jobs as mothers, sisters, daughters, fathers, brothers, divine feminine, divine masculine, is to lead by example. Be the best version of you. That's all you have to do. Be your tree. Put those roots down deep. Allow yourself to change. Allow yourself to pull that up. To know at the root of you, if I'm stressed, if I'm feeling at ease, what do I need to be in harmony with myself? What do I need to take in that breath and pull up my own backbone and to trust in myself so deeply that I know the decisions to make? And I may not know the outcome and I may not know the answer, but I trust. I trust in my alignment to a higher power, and I trust in the guidance because I've called it in. I've asked for their support. I've become quiet and mindful enough to hear them. I've allowed myself to feel the peace. I've allowed myself to connect with happiness. I've allowed myself to nurture and to be gentle. I've allowed myself to do what is so natural. Love is natural. Light is natural. When you stop fighting you set yourself free. I hope you enjoyed the journey through the 7 chakras. Thank you for staying to the end. Thank you for taking this time to honor you, your personal journey, to write down what resonated in your truth, to spend the time in your own way, to honor that, and to really take the time to commend yourself. Commend yourself for how far you've come. and commend yourself for how aware you are of patterns, thoughts, or choices that you know are not in your highest good. Don't condemn yourself. Be proud of yourself for catching it. And the reason for that is you want to celebrate the catches, because now you just gave yourself the opportunity to choose something that is more in alignment with your vibrational frequency. So forgive the past, send love to the past, and start noticing every opportunity to make a choice. Offer yourself grace. Ask, is this going to empower me? Is this going to empower the other? And if it's not, push yourself up. What is this teaching me? What is this teaching me? And how can I use it for the highest good? That I do not fall into disempowering and giving away my light and disempowering somebody else and shrinking theirs. How do I power up? So I wish you all the best in this beautiful full moon lunar eclipse. Taurus is giving us the energy of practical, bullheadedness. Oh, let's be stubborn in love and stubborn in faith. Let us fight our way through these illusions. Let us get so earthbound because we came here. We chose to come here at this time. So let us be a force to be reckoned with. Let us choose to trust in ourselves, our directions, our inner knowing. Let us dare to love greatly, dare to forgive greatly, and dare to be absolutely gentle and compassionate and mindful in our own self-care. Namaste. Take care.